Let me show you how it works. All we need to do is upload the image that we want. In this case, I've just got an image of me. Paste our prompt in here. Make sure that we turn on the new Nano Banana from Google and send it off. And now it's going to be able to generate that image for us with the context that sits around it. That's come back incredibly quickly and the results look amazing. But that's just the start. Now let's come through. We're going to add another image in here as well. There we go. And then we're going to paste our next prompt in here. And this is what's great about Nano, is it's now going to be able to combine those two images like you would have in Flux context to get that new output. So there we go. As we can see, if I open this up, I'm looking off into the distance for some reason, but we've got that lady now sat next to me, as well as being in that scene that we originally had right at the start. So it's understood that context that sat around it. And if we want to take this one step further, we can even say, please add some food into the plate. And now it's going to go off, add this in, so it's got that real context level detail on exactly the images we're generating. So there we go. We've now got the food come back. And as we can see here, it's missed out the plate on the left-hand side, but it's got the bread and some pasta in between us. And I think that looks incredibly fantastic for how quickly it came back. And it's no extra cost. It's free to use at the moment and included in your Google subscription. You've got two ways of being able to use the image generation. You've got directly in here within your Gemini account, or you're able to come across to Google's AI Studio. If you want to use it with Google Studio, as you can see here, it's got it all set up nice and easily. From lifestyle edits like this through to brand marketing and 3D images, Nano can do it all with just a few simple prompts. Is this the new replacement for Photoshop, Flux and other models? Let's jump into the video to find out. So what is Nano? Well, Nano is the new image generation tool from Google. It's their Gemini 2.5 image capability, and this means it has strong world knowledge as well as language control. And the great part about that is it can infer the context into your images. All you need to do is drag the image in, explain what you want in plain English, and you'll get the output incredibly quickly. So how good is it? Well, first things first, let's compare it to some of the previous examples. So as you can see on screen here, we've now got Imagen 3, Imagen 4, and Nano. And I think as you can see with the Imagen 3 on the left-hand side, overall, it's quite a good quality image, but it's got the weird extra hand in there. The coffee is not quite centered onto the cup. She's on the phone, but you can't quite see if it's the phone or just holding her hand up to her head. So I'd probably give that a 6 out of 10. If we then come to Imagen 4, I think this is really close to the Nano quality that we're getting output. Her eye on the left-hand side looks a little bit wonky, but overall I think that's incredibly good quality for the denim jacket, the laptop, and the drink that she's got with her. Now on to Nano. And I think overall this is probably the best image that we've got out of the three. She's in a really good setting. It's got that background that looks miserable with the rain in the background. I think that laptop looks really realistic. It's got the drip of coffee coming off the side of that coffee cup. It's also got lots of the intricate detail on her jacket. Her face looks really realistic, and he's got the hair that looks really natural as well. So I'd probably give this the highest score. Again, maybe a 9 out of 10, still none of them 10 out of 10 at the moment, but looks incredibly good. But how does this compare to the other image models out there? Well, I'm going to show you a couple of quick ones now. So starting off with Flux 1.1 Pro Ultra. As we can see here, it's a very minimalist setting that she's in at the moment. The raindrops on the window look a little bit bigger than what you'd expect in a more realistic setting. Overall, that laptop I think looks the best out of all of them. It's also really nailed that Apple logo as well. I think the coffee looks really good. I really did like on the Nano version though, that it had that drip coming down the side. It made it a lot more realistic. If we come across to the next one here, we've then got Ideogram 3 Quality. Now overall, I think this is probably the best setting out of the three because it's got her right up against a really large window. I can imagine this being a London coffee shop. It's got the rain coming down the window, looks really realistic. It's also got that lamppost out the back, as well as the motion blur for some of the cars. When we get to look at her, again, she looks really realistic. It's got those hairs that look really fine and natural. They don't look like almost like a Lego hair carpet that's just been put on top. She's got the normal amount of fingers, which is great to see, as well as the drink on the far hand side. It's not quite a coffee cup, but if this was more of a boutique coffee shop, then I think that's what they would tend to serve it in. And again, I love coffee, so that's what I expected to see in. I also love that it's added a little bit of food as well behind her laptop, makes it look really realistic. If we come across to the last one here, we're going to be looking at SeaDream 3. So as we can see here, that coffee doesn't quite look right. A lot of the models really struggle with the fluids, but I think the others nailed it. This one didn't quite get it right. It's also not got the logo on the back of the laptop, even though it shows it. I think for the setting though, apart from what looks like maybe either water drops on the windowsill or actually just the reflection, either that could be really good or just a bit of fine tuning there. I think the clothes look really good. She's got the most natural looking face, I think, out of the ones that we've seen so far, out of the 6. And I quite like the background, but to me, the one that we just saw from Ideogram 3 has that best quality possible. So what is Nano Banana really good at? Well, it's really good at having that natural language conversation, not having to have really detailed prompts to go through and get exactly the image that you want out. And that's thanks to having that integration with more of that Gemini Flash 2.5. It's much more conversational than having a dedicated image model. What we're also able to see is that it's got reference composition, it's got that lighting perspective, it's got able to match the continuity or the similarity between different scenarios to provide that consistency that we want. On that same train of thought as well, is really good at getting that character and style consistency across multiple angles, emotions, and elements that we include. It's also really good at being able to identify the specific scene that we're doing. So for example, it could be a winter setting or a summer setting. It understands the colors that go with it, if we need to turn lights on or lights off, if it's nighttime or daytime, with high fidelity. And the last part there as well is it's really good at having that text to come out. Still not 100%, but incredibly good to where it was even just a couple of months ago. But what's it not so good at, and where does it struggle? Well, it's not very good at having that aspect ratio obedience. So for example, if we're uploading those images one by one as a square box, we're going to get the output back as a 1-to-1 ratio. If you ask it to change it to that 9:16 or 16:9 format, it just really struggles with it. You're not going to get the output that you're looking for. The next part is that it's really good at having some of the edits that go through, but if there's too many iterative micro edits, it can get stuck and start to remove aspects, and then it gets a bit confused and it won't really give you the output that you want. And at that stage, you're better at just taking the last best image, going through and generating a new chat to try and get the output. What we also start to see is there's a slight bit of likeness drift for that person you upload. So in that case, all you just need to do is again, capture that image, re-upload it and start a new chat. It's just having that context over multiple images. That's where it starts to struggle after a while. And the resolution. This is an awful aspect of Google's Nano, and I have to be honest about that. You are going to need upscalers that you can use on platforms like Replicate to be able to improve the quality of that image. You won't be able to take it out naturally and use it because it's almost like 360p, 480p max for the quality of the output that you're getting. So that's how it stacks up. Now we're going to run through 4 use cases. We're going to have a marketing use case, a brand and web use case. We're going to go into more the property, product and industrial section, as well as e-commerce. So let's jump into these specific use cases. All you need to do is come through and start a new chat. We'll paste our prompt in here, which is all around creating that consistent character based on the image that we provided. I'm going to give it an image of me, and then we're going to send it off and see what it comes up with. We're asking it to do a poster of maybe a magazine to show how it's able to get me into that image with all of the text that sits around it. Again, think about it 6 to 8 months ago at the start of the year, what the quality of image generators were like and how far we've come in such a short period of time. I think that image looks absolutely fantastic. I would say it's probably an 8 out of 10. There's a bit of fine tuning that we could do, but for how quickly it's come up with the result, I think that looks incredibly good. Now, to take that to the next level, we're going to come through and give it a style change. So exactly the same before, we're now going to take that snapshot and we're going to give me a slightly different hairstyle. So there we go, exactly the same structure. I think it looks a little bit funky, definitely not what I'm used to. But as you can see there with the glasses, the hairstyle, we can make it more and more extreme. So then we could send off another request here, and we're just going to say, actually change the style, the location, and see what it can come up with, hoping that it keeps that consistency. So any second now, if I was to have long hair, that's what it would look like. I'm definitely not going to go for that anytime shortly. But as you can see, we're now able to move it around into a realistic settings. We've got the arms crossed. I think it's lost a little bit of the definition of my face, but it's still able to do that incredibly quickly. So now let's go through and we're going to generate an image for a poster. So as we can see there, we've got a parody movie called The Good, The Bad and the AI. And we're going to go through it and get me as the main character and send this off. So now we'll send this off and we'll wait for it to come back and see the poster it's able to generate. So there we go. We've now got the poster back. You can see it's me, but it's not quite easy. So again, plain English, we're going to say, please remove the bandana so we can see my face. We'll send this off and then it should be able to go through, make the adjustments for us and bring it back nice and quick. So here we go. We've got the image back. I don't think that looks correct. It looks like it's changed the face. So what we'll be able to do is if we come out of here, so we'll be able to send that off and see what comes back. So now if we come down and check out the result, as we can see here, we've got it back. It's done really well for that overall quality. It's not 100% on the text. For example, it's got image 80 there. The good, the bad, the AI is correct though. The robots and a few others look really good. Now, the other part that's really cool is we can turn 2D into 3D. So we're going to come to here and we're going to say create a 2D archaeological blueprint of an ancient temple site. Show the walls, columns, courtyards, staircases and label for key rooms. We want a flat ink drawing with contour lines for elevation and no shading. So we've got our result back here and it looks pretty good. That looks like a realistic drawing. What we'll be able to do is come down the bottom and basically ask it to turn it into a 3D tabletop model. Now I have found that you've got to play around with this, a few variations to go through and refine it, but it's incredibly cool that we're able to go from a 2D image into a 3D model incredibly quickly. So there we go, we've now got the image back. I really like the overall design of it, and if we just compare it side by side, we'll be able to see it's not 100% to the exact drawing that we gave it, but I'd say it's probably 80% of the way there for what we wanted it to do. If you were to go through and do it again, maybe we want it to do around a fantasy world map on parch paper. We want it to be 16 by 9, include the contour lines, elevations, mountains, everything like that, so that we can bring it to life. So there we go, we've now got that result back. I think that looks really good. Maybe it's like a Lord of the Rings type output that we'd be able to bring to life. So all we're going to do is say, please bring this 2D fantasy map into a navigatable 3D tabletop diorama. And what this means is it's going to enable us to be able to go through and bring it to life that we could almost put into a 3D model and play around with it. So there we go, we'll open it up. Again, it's not 100% of the way there, but I think that looks incredibly good to go from the idea of the drawing that we had into a 3D tabletop manner. There's loads of other ones in the internet that show how you can do that from your own drawings as well. I'll also include some of the other ones that we did a bit earlier on for some theme parks as well as a solar system to generate 2D into 3D images. Speaking of 3D models, what if we actually got a real world image? Well, that's where we're going to be able to come down upload something like this Land Rover here. Then we'll be able to put our prompt in here, which is make an isometric model of that Land Rover that's in the image. So this is where we could then import it into another platform to have a 3D model that we could play around with it, add to a video game, 3D print, or whatever else we needed to do. This should come back any second now. And there we go, we've got the result back, and I think that looks absolutely fantastic. It's got the refract correct, it's got what looks like the color correct as well, that dark green. The wheels, it's got the number plate correct as well. What is that, F799? Okay, it's almost, it was F789E, so that's almost there. It's not 100%, but that looks incredibly good. We can do this with buildings as well. So let's come through and add another one in here. We'll say paste that prompt again, and we'll say the building instead, and then we'll send it off. And now we can get that model to come back. So think of this use case that could be in the property industry, anything in the building as well, to be able to get that 3D model incredibly quickly. So there we go. We've now got that result back, and I think that looks incredibly fantastic. When we look at, yes, it slightly changed the angle of the building. So this was the original one. But if we see them side by side, I think they look incredibly fantastic. And I keep being blown away by how quickly this technology is advancing. Now, what if you've got maybe a marketing use case where you're coming up with a product branding style? We'll be able to paste our prompt in here. We're going to say that we're creating a premium coffee bag design brand called the Coffee Edge, similar to the AI Edge community, which teaches you how to develop, train, and sell AI solutions. As we can see here, we've got that result back incredibly quickly. If anyone knows how to bring this to life, I would love to see a real life version. So definitely let me know in the comments below if you're able to do that. I really like the black and bronze styling on this. I think it looks really cool. It's got the ultra premium style to it. I love my coffee, so definitely something I'd love to see brought to life. It's really good to see that text as well is really clear and easy to read on the front of the packet. So that's the coffee bag. But what if we wanted to bring it to life in a coffee cup? We'd be able to come down here, paste our prompt, and send it off. Again, no fancy prompt engineering at the moment. We're talking to it in plain English. Replace the bag with a coffee cup, matching perspective, lighting, position, and much, much more as well. So there we go. We've now got that coffee cup back. I think it's done incredibly well to be able to do that. The hand doesn't look fully distorted, which is great to see. It's also got exactly the same branding as the coffee bag that we had a little bit earlier on. And I think that looks really good. We'll be able to make maybe some visuals. We can easily turn this into a video with VO3, Kling, or any of the other SeaDream Pro 1 AI video models out there. Now, maybe we want to bring this to life as a brand. What we're going to say now is please create a complete landing hero section for the Coffee Edge 16:9 format. And that's really key, because what I found is when we're going through, Google's Nano is going to output the image that it's generated in either the original format if you've uploaded something, i.e. if you've done 9:16 for social media, it will output it as 9:16. It's not going to change it. There we go. We've got the result back. It's managed to get that coffee branding correct there. It should be maybe black instead of white for the logo, but I think that looks really good. And you could quite easily bring this to life with some of the other platforms like lovable.dev or bold.new to create that brand landing page incredibly quickly. But maybe you want to take it one step further, and we want some business cards that we'll be able to hand out to people, or maybe have some loyalty stamp cards in the coffee shop instead. And there we go, we've got the results back. I don't quite like these compared to what we had originally for that black and bronze setting. So what we're going to do is come down here and say, please bring back the black and bronze theme of the coffee bag for these cards. We'll send them off, and hopefully it gives us that better quality output for what we're looking for. And I think that looks 100 times better. The issue is it's now duplicated, so it's not got that front or back. But as you can see here, able to come up with some incredibly good ideas incredibly quickly. Now, all of this has been about generating images. What if we want to restore or adjust images? So now I'm going to upload 2 images. We're going to say, please make the color of the lady's dress the same color as the butterfly. We'll be able to send that off. And now what it should be able to do is, with the context and the understanding it's got, is change it from a pink dress here and put it into more the color scheme of the butterfly here. So we'll just wait for this to come back. So as we can see there, I think that looks incredibly fantastic. It's really nailed it. I'd say it's probably that 9 out of 10. A slight touch up in Photoshop would get it to 10 out of 10 for that design. So it's not quite there, able to take over Photoshop. I don't think it is, but we're getting close with some of the AI tools. Now, what if we wanted to go through and maybe remove some aspects of an image? What we'll be able to do is, if I upload this example image here, we'll be able to say, please remove the van from the image. So this is a nice, easy way to start off. We're just asking it to remove that camper van, the VW camper van, from the image. So now we got the result back. It's removed the camper van. It's also added a bush in the background here, which I think looks really good. You wouldn't really be able to tell where that camper van's removed, but that's a nice, easy use case because it's a big, bulky car. Let's take it up to the next level, and we're going to come through and ask it to remove a person from an image. So we've got a hiker on top of a hill here. We'll say, please remove the human from the image and send that off. The reason for this is because people are much harder to be able to go through and remove because of the legs, the hands, the body structure. It's a bit more fiddly than a big bulky car. And there we go, we've got that result back. Looks incredibly good, original to the first image that we had, and has literally just removed that person. Maybe that rock stack's got a slightly bit bigger, slightly bit to the right, but overall I think that's really good. So now let's take it up another notch. We're going to really test out the model here by having this image that you can see with the 3 individuals. We're going to say, please remove the person on the left, please remove the person on the right, and we only want the center person to remain. So what this should mean is there's now only one person in the image. Apart from the walking marks that you can see in the sand, we've removed both of those people, and it's really understood that we just wanted that one person left in the middle. So it's absolutely nailed it. Now we're going to go through and show you how you can adjust original images. So what I'm going to do is upload the image that's black and white all around Paris from a certain angle. What we're going to say is, please add color back into the image. We'll be able to send this off, and now it should be able to turn that black and white image that we've got there, recolorize it, if that's even a word, and then be able to show us the end result. We'll then be able to go through and make a few changes off the back of it. So there we go, and I think that looks absolutely fantastic. It's kept the original structure that we were looking for, and it's just gone through and added the color back in. Now we can say, let's go through and make it a nice sunny day instead of cloudy. We've got the output, it looks pretty similar to that last one. So let's take it up a notch. We're going to say, please change it so that it's now got a night sky with no light pollution. So we should have lots and lots of stars that show up in the sky. I think this is absolutely incredible, for the context is understood around the image. So all we said is, please make it nighttime, and it needs to have no light pollution so we can see the stars. But what it's automatically been able to do as well is identify that it needs to turn on the lights for the building. It's not got any bleeding of the lights outside of it as well, i.e. the light is only coming from the windows. It's also turned on the Eiffel Tower's lights as well for how they look in the real world. So it's incredibly good for the output that we've been able to achieve. But what if we need a bit more of an extreme example? What we're going to do now is show you how you can recolor an image that's maybe been overexposed or had a filter put over the top, like the bird. We can say, please adjust the color profile image so the bird and snow-peaked mountains look realistic. We'll be able to send that off, and then what it should be able to do is, without affecting the background scene at all, is be able to recolor it so it looks realistic and doesn't have that tint to it like it currently does. So there we go, we've got the black and white version back, and then we can say, please add color to the image. So there we go, and we've got the image back. I'm not sure if that's what the bird actually looks like in real life, but I think that looks incredibly good compared to the original that you can see, and how we've been able to correct for those issues. Now we'll want to run through one of my favorite features that's not quite there yet, but I think has amazing potential. What I'm going to do is upload the image of a map. And in this use case is going to be us facing down the Mall in London towards Buckingham Palace. We're going to say, please show me what the red arrow would seem in real world. We'll be able to send this off. And now what we're looking for it to do is actually give us that perspective. And we can see it here. I'll include some other screenshots as well in a second for how it looks from other generations. And that's why it's not 100% there at the moment. But if we compare that to what it looks like in real life, we should be looking for something that looks a little bit like this. That's the angle that we're going for. What I'll do is also include some examples that we did around the Golden Gate Bridge in San Francisco and how we're able to get the outputs from that. I think this is really cool because it's now able to understand the context of where we are and the output that we're looking to achieve. So I'm really excited to see where this goes. And if you're interested in learning more about AI automation, how to get the most out of it, definitely come across to our community. We've got lots of content in here, exclusive deals for you, but also masterclasses on how to generate AI images and AI videos as well to improve the quality output that you're trying to get. Stay tuned for more around AI, automation, and have a great day.